things first, I'm not gonna call Kanye crazy. Calling Kanye crazy is basically discarding him as a human being. Second, although him hugging Trump bothered me, I feel like we have to take a look at ourselves as black people about how we got to this place with Kanye. Because let's be honest, when he was doing this to George Bush, we praised it. But since he's siding with Trump, we hate it. With that being said, I'm going to try to break down, or at least decipher what Kanye was trying to say. Let this be clear. I do not support Trump. I wasn't a fan of Hillary either. I was a Bernie Sanders guy. But that's neither here nor there. Second, before I start deciphering, this is just going to say, I'm one of those guys that I see things from both angles, which is sometimes I call it a gift and a curse, because I'm not trying to please both sides, but at the same time, I always have this thing like both sides always have good answers, but we never come to the middle to like meet both of those things. And I feel like even though Kanye babbled, and it was a lot of babbling, and yes, it was a lot of soft shoeing, he was making some points that you and I have heard from both sides, the conservative and the liberals, talk about. So let's just basically try to break this down. So the reason Kanye was there, he was talking about prison reform, mental illness, and bringing jobs to the black community. He started how welfare works and how it hurts the black community. I think he talked about that a little bit. I'm pretty sure he basically gone into history about welfare and all that other stuff, and how it took fathers out the community, which it did, and which both sides talked about. Again, this is me being in the middle. He also talked about how he saved Adidas. Basically, he was like, they was a $15 billion company, and losing $2 billion a year. And when he went there, then now like they have like 38 million. Now he does have a point about that, because I don't remember when anybody was buying Adidas like that. Like, people didn't say Adidas was ugly, but they didn't really have any good shoes. Everybody was like Nikes or Jordans. So when they hired some people from Nike to the Adidas, they was making money. But when they really was making money with Yeezy, with Kanye and his Yeezys. So the facts, he has his facts about right there. Another thing he mentions, and I think it's a problem, when he says he went to the doctor, and the doctor said he wasn't bipolar, he was just sleep deprived, which can cause dementia. And basically he was saying how he could probably not know his son's name like as he get older. And I used to go to an art school, and a lot of those kids I think are really talented, but a lot of them used to like say they have autism or some type of Asperger's or something like that. And now there were some odd kids there that was obviously mentally ill or something like that, but one, they were really talented, and two, I really didn't think some of them were mentally ill. And this is me knowing that mental illness comes in very different ways. I have a brother that's mildly autistic, and even he is smart, and he's not totally dumb. I don't think anybody with autism is dumb, but you could tell he's mildly autistic, but at the same time he's not slow. He's actually pretty bright, but I think he try to use that as an advantage sometimes. And I think I see that in some of these kids. I don't think some of them are diagnosed. I actually think some of those kids who think they have Asperger's or something are perfectly normal. But I think the doctors, they want us to be on these drugs and all these pills and the Xanax and all that other stuff. And I think a lot of these people were just lazy. How they... Because one time a teacher told me I needed Ritalin. I never told my mother and father this, but the teacher once told me I needed Ritalin. Now, I personally I didn't need Ritalin, but I'm the type of guy. If I'm bored, I'm just going to move around and shit. It's who I am. It's like I have testosterone, and I think that's how school is. This is why women do well in school, and like men, we do well, but you really have to keep our interests in mostly because like I don't know. I have this thing that women work well with their minds and men work well with their hands. I feel like when you took all the trades and the shop classes and all the things you could do with your hands outside of school, is you just putting kids to just sit there and people just agitated, they want to do something. It's like I remember they they took recess out of school. I was like, why? It was like kids need to break from mental, from the mental things. Sometimes your brain needs to take a break, and then we're just sitting there 8 hours straight to school. I remember people talk about they should have nap times, and I agree with that. I feel like you should have nap times at work, at least an hour of that. I know when I was in the Navy and we was on the carrier, we had 2 hour lunch breaks. And the only reason we had 2 hour lunch breaks because I was on the carrier and there's a lot of people, so it takes a while for you to get your food. Sometimes you be in the line for like an hour. And that hour itself just to wait for food. That's how many people was on. But you had a 2 hour lunch break, and sometimes people take that and they get some rest. And then once your lunch break is over, you come back, you rejuvenate it, you finish your job, and then you just go. I always thought most people should do this, but that's just, I don't know, that's just my opinion. I don't think naps hurt. I think you should just have throughout that 8 hour days, have a time where you can rest your brain and then go back to work. He was also talking about the prison reform system, and that was the reason why he was there. He was talking, this obviously we're like 90% of the jail population, and some people there are just mean, and it's like petty crimes that turns into like year-long crimes because, to be honest, with white people, the way you think or not, we are judged on a different basis on other races, and it's been seen. Hell, Bill Cosby got 3 to 10, and I don't even think I don't think Weinstein was going to get no jail time. There was a white kid that literally raped the girl, and he walked off. But that's another story. We're not going to get into that. But people who knows about that knows about that. But he was there to talk about the prison reform system, and he was talking about bringing some jobs back in the communities, maybe in factories. I feel like they're gonna put one in Michigan, but I wouldn't do that because they still gotta fix the Flint water crisis. I feel like if they fix the Flint water crisis, something may get up. But either they're gonna. I've said this about Michigan and maybe Chicago, but this is for 2 different reasons. For Flint, I think they're going to gentrify Flint and then rebuild it and move all the black people out of Flint and then make it so nice that they really can't afford the stuff, or they're just going to build a wall like brick mansions and then just like make it look like a third world country. That's if you really look at it, that's mostly what he's talking about. The Superman and the cape thing. This is what happens when I guess even though he knows his father, I guess he looked at Donald Trump as a father, and obviously when you look at Kanye, he's looked up to a bunch of white people. He looked up to Steve Jobs. He looked up to some fashion designers, and I know I've said this before, but I'll say it again. It's like, was there anybody black he looked up to? And then they asked him about the George Bush don't care about black people, and they asked him Donald Trump was racist, and he's like, racist. He's basically said racism is not going to stop him. Or He's not bothered by racism. Some people see it every day. That's subjective because some people just look at. I feel like he was just like really, really trying to kiss Donald Trump's ass, and Donald Trump looked at him as just like a puppet boy, a puppet master. He was just like making him dance and all that other stuff. And I think Donald Trump was enjoying it. Overall, he did say some wise things. He said he had some points, and you really can't, unless the people want to bastardize him. And of course, he's with Trump, but you can't really look at it and go, oh, he's crazy. He's lost his ever-loving mind. If Kanye gets stuff done, you kind of have to look at it different. And Donald Trump really wants to black us out. He would probably listen to Kanye and see if he can get stuff done. Because if Donald, trust me when I say this, if Donald Trump does something in the black community, he's going to do it. I know people are trying to impeach him, and y'all get look. And this is personally, I love women, and I believe in consent. The grabbing by the pussy thing is getting old. It really is. He's president, and that didn't stop him from being president. It makes you think it's going to stop. It's going to keep going. Y'all keep bringing that up. Y'all, it's getting old. I'm really tired of hearing about it. I know he said it. I know it's wrong, but obviously no one cares. Every time you hear grabbing by the pussy, it's just no one cares. And that's just my personal opinion about it. But let me know what you think. Let me know how you felt about Kanye meeting up with Donald Trump and all that other stuff. Let me know if you think I'm right or wrong. Just leave it down in the comment section. And, let's talk about it. Until then, my name is Oscino Fly. Now I'm out. Peace. Also, reviews coming soon. We get back on review stuff.
Fuck a girl, fuck a woman, fuck a freaking, fuck a bitch. Fuck a